Hi there. I'm going to talk about my green out experience. A couple weeks ago, we started buying these 700 milligram um, weed gummies. Um, they're really fucking strong. Um, so I had forgotten that I had already eaten a half, and then I turned around. No, I had eaten a whole one, and I made a mistake because one of the gummies was squished up, and I thought that it was the half that I had in there. I only noticed as it's sliding down my throat. I look down in the bottom of the thing. Oh, fuck. There's half of one. So I bombed myself up on two gummies. And these are the big ones. Like, they are that big. They're enormous. So, yeah. Um, anyways, I ate two of those. And I was watching a movie that's really, really, really good. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's called like The Exchange or something. Tom Hanks is in it. And it's about him representing a Soviet spy. Well, a lawyer and all this stuff. He ends up going to like Germany and shit like that. And it's really cool. It's a good movie. Anyways, it started kicking in there at that really tense, dramatic end scene. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Like that big ending. And I start seeing things move. Oh my fucking god. Here we go. I messed myself up bad and I knew it was going to be bad. Because, like, I watched a video that somebody was talking about where they greened out, so I knew it was coming. Because I could feel it. Like, my head was all swimmy and I was dizzy and hallucinating. Like, things are moving and it was hard to keep balance. It kind of felt like I was on a ship, I guess you could say, a little bit rocking and rolling. Anywho, so I did that. I tried to eat a little something to make the high go down because I was too high. Well, that made me puke. I threw up, mostly like mucusy stuff, and I was really like not good. And mom was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" I said, "Can I please have a paper towel so I can have my dignity?" Because throwing up's no fun, especially when you're high and dizzy. When you're too high. Um, so I was sitting down at the table and I started crying and having anxiety, really big anxiety. Like being too high is not fun. And then I knew that it would be over in a couple of hours because I watched where someone else had greened out not long before that happened to me. So I knew I was greening out. And so like I sat there and when I was laying on the couch I felt like I was an astronaut or something floating through space like a nebula or something. It was I closed my eyes and there was like these colors and everything felt floaty and weird, but not in a good way because I was out of control of my mind. And I think that that affected me pretty bad. And being too high, that's not good, guys. So be careful. But like that passed, and I went to bed, slept for approximately 10 hours straight. Like usually I wake up at night to drink water or to pee. Dead. I was dead to the world. And like I woke up high the next day, really high still. Like, I had to cancel my morning plans because I was gone. Still. So, canceled my appointments, and I was still pretty high, but it was at an enjoyable point at that time. But I knew I was too fucked up to go to therapy and be running around with my CSM. I don't like to be high when I do those things. So, for those of you wondering, my CSM is my caseworker. I am a mental health service recipient at Adonta. So, I'll get into that in another video. But I don't like to be like super uncomposed. I guess I'm just, I don't know. I don't want people to see me acting stupid. Because when I'm really, really high, I act stupid, as do most people. But, anyways, that finally passed, and I stopped being high the next day. Later that day, it was an experience. And I was tripping. Like, literally tripping. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect the guy, but I was like Sid Barrett high. Because everyone knows he smoked a lot of weed. That knows anything about him. He was a big, big weed smoker. They probably shouldn't have been because of his mental health, but people didn't really understand the impact of marijuana and schizophrenia at the time, and it was one of the few things that the poor man could use to make him feel better. Because back in the 60s, schizophrenia treatment was terrible. Or non-existent. Anywho, I didn't come on here to talk about schizophrenia. I come on here to talk about greening out. And it's true what they say. Start small, because you can always take more, but you cannot take less. And it will fuck you up. But another thing that I noticed, since I greened out, my tolerance for weed is a lot higher. Like, it still fucks me up and everything, but not as much as it used to. But, like, yeah, it definitely affected my tolerance. I'm gonna be taking a tolerance break soon, because I think that I just need a break from weed in general so that I can have a more intense high and get that threshold back down, because I'm not comfortable with it being very, very high like that. You know, because that's at the point where you're like real fucked up, and real fucked up, and I don't really want to be, you know, to the point where I can't function. I don't like that at all. And that was where it was. It was beyond the point of non-function. If I hadn't watched that video about greening out, I would have thought I would need to go to the hospital and get some anxiety goddamn medicine on top of the medicine I already take. But I knew what was happening to me, so I knew to wait. And it would be over. Just let it ride and try not to go into a frenzy of like meltdown / anxiety attack at the same time. Because there's a difference between a meltdown and an anxiety attack. And I kept hearing this real loud, stupid, annoying music in my head too. Like da 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 da, loud horns. It was awful, guys. I'm telling you, be careful. Because edibles will kick your fucking ass. So be careful.